Hello, you Blutin' lovebirds. Today we are reviewing Haven, a game that comes to us from developer and publisher The Game Bakers. I played this one on Steam. It is also available on the PS5, Xbox Series X, Xbox One, as well as good old games for the Nintendo Switch and the PS4. There is a later release date. At the time of this review, the current price of Haven on Steam is $24.99. Haven is a story-heavy RPG that almost feels like it's been merged together with a dating sim because you are controlling two main characters, Kay and Yu. They've escaped from their home planet to a new planet called Source so that they can be together. Kinda gives a new meaning to the term star-crossed lovers, I guess. And after we figure out why they are on this strange planet, the rest of the game is essentially following their day-to-day lives as they try to make improvements to their ship called the Nest. They eat, cook, sleep, chat, pretty much anything a normal couple would do, except for the added fact that they're on an alien planet and they have to collect a substance called flow in order to power their ship and their gear. The game starts off with a brief tutorial which shows you how to collect flow and control the characters. You can choose, if you're playing single player, which character you want to be controlling, and you can switch between them throughout the game. You can also play this as a co-op game with two controllers, so you can have one person controlling each character. So essentially, if you're playing this single player, your whatever character you choose to control at that time is collecting flow and objects that they find, such as food like apple dews. I've never heard the word apple dew before in my life, but it's so stuck in my head from playing this game and the amount of times that they said that word that I can't get it unstuck from my head, much like the word bloating. But anyway, I'm getting off track. Back to the flow. So if you're playing this two-player, which I did try out as well, the character that is in front pretty much controls where you're going. The secondary character can still collect items along the way, but the primary character in front is controlling the camera and what direction you're going to be traveling in. While you're out and about, in addition to collecting objects and items, you also have some combat to look out for. So there are characters that have been corrupted by this mysterious substance on the planet Source, and you need to basically knock it out of them and pacify them to bring them back to their normal, pleasant selves. And this is also really different depending on whether you're playing it single or multiplayer. As a single player, you can control one character with the directional buttons and the other character with the action buttons. If you are playing it multiplayer, of course, one person has control of one character, one person has control of the other. There are some duo attacks that you can do where you have to coordinate with the other player, which is obviously a lot easier to do when you are the other player. So it adds a little bit of a complication to the multiplayer option. This is actually a surprisingly deep game, so there is quite a bit to go over here. Once you return back to your home after a long day of beating up lizards and other creatures back to submission, you have the option to synthesize healing items from objects that you find along the way. You can, of course, cook and eat. You can sleep. You can shower, you can heal, you can also upgrade your gear, and perhaps most importantly, you can work on your relationship. Once you've had some rest and something to eat and plenty of time to chat with your partner, off you go out exploring again, finding parts to repair your ship home. Essentially, the planet's Source is broken up into tiny land masses that are connected by what are called flow bridges. And you need to travel between these land masses in order to collect items that you'll need to repair your ship or to cook or to live. Eventually, you do get some sort of map radar, which is super helpful when you're trying to figure out which parts of the land you've been to and which you haven't. And eventually you do get an option to fast travel between bits of land, but you need to clear off the bits of land before you can fast travel to that particular place. On these land masses, you will find some places where you can camp, where you can either heal or eat or regain your strength. So you don't necessarily always need to return to your home base in order to heal, but you do need to be at one of these designated locations to do so. I should also mention that the two main characters, U and K, have a lot of dialogue together, and in these dialogues you're presented with choices, and your choices do impact the conversations and how quickly you build the relationship between these two protagonists. What's interesting is that when you play this as a two-player game, both people playing need to agree on the choice in order to select it. So not only are you sparking a dialogue with the other character, you're also sparking a dialogue with whoever you're playing this game with, so that's kind of neat. So I obviously just threw a lot of information out at you, and there's probably more I could cover here, but that's essentially the long and the short of it. Now, as far as how I felt about this game, at first, to be entirely honest and transparent with you, I was a little bored with the gameplay, and then I realized exactly what this game is. It's meant to be a nice, relaxing experience. It's not meant to be this crazy action-packed adventure. It's meant to be something that you can kind of sit down and chill with. Yes, the dialogue between the two characters is rather corny, but it is kind of endearing in a way, and I loved the fact that you could walk around and pet lizards at your will. Adding to the kind of chill factor of this game is the beautiful art style. It looks like a watercolor painting at times. I loved the colors that they used. I thought that the character designs were really neat and original, and I even loved coming across all sorts of unique little critters along my travels. I do have to say, however, that all of the little hunks of land, for the most part, look remarkably similar, and it is hard to tell where you're going, especially before you get your radar map. But other than that, I have no real issues with the way this game looks, and certainly no issues with the way this game sounds. I adored the soundtrack. It was, again, with that chill vibe. You just want to sit down and listen to this game after a long, hard day to relax your mind. It, for the most part, sounds very electronica heavy, but not in the like hard-hitting DJ kind of way. And then, of course, the game is fully voice acted for the two main characters, which is also very well done. Even though I cringed at a lot of their lovey-dovey banter, I did grow to like them in the end, I'll admit it. Haven is not a game that's going to keep you on the edge of your seat for your entire experience. It's not a game that you're going to want to sit and marathon ad nauseum, and it's not a game that is going to tickle your brain with crazy puzzles. This is a game that's meant to relax you and put a smile on your face, and I did think it did that successfully. I'd almost recommend this game more to people who are fans of dating sims or story-heavy visual novel-style games rather than fans of RPGs, though you may find something that you enjoy in here with the collecting and the cooking and things like that. There is a little bit of something for everyone. But what I really want to know is, when you and Kay are alone in the nest, and you have free reign to walk around the nest and find them wherever they are, who are you controlling?
Oh, with the lights off? Works for me.
No, I didn't do that. We must have run out of flow.
Thank you so much for checking out my review of Haven. If you'd like to see more videos like this one, hit the subscribe button below so you can follow all of our reviews and previews, and don't forget to check out the description box for links to our Discord, as well as our merchandise store and our memberships if you'd like to support us further. Thank you again for watching, and I will see you next time.